And please allow me to share my screen. Okay, um, uh, distinguished chairperson, ladies and gentlemen, today I'm going to speak on exploring challenges of blue justice in landlocked mountainous countries, taking the case of Nepal. My name is Tek Bahadur Grong, and I am involved in fisheries program at the Agriculture and Forestry University, Nepal. So actually, the blue justice the social, environmental, climatic, and human rights justice, along with the historical rights of small-scale fishing communities as traditional users of marine and inland waters. Uh, the blue justice concept of too big to ignore institution reflects the United Nations 2030 agenda of small sustainable development goals, which are very much relevant to small-scale fisher folk in headwaters of ocean in landlocked countries in terms of opportunities and challenges. Unfortunately, the Sustainable Development Goals do not address the small-scale fisheries explicitly in landlocked countries, though the small-scale fisheries play a very important role on poverty alleviation, income generation, and livelihood aspect to achieve the target of the Sustainable Development Goal agendas. Nepal actually is landlocked by a very small country, landlocked by India and China, having three distinct ecological zones: plains, terai, which also refer terai, mid-hills, and the high mountain areas. In elevation, with these all agroecological zones are situated in an elevation from 64 meters to the world highest 8,840 meters. That is the Mount Everest. So I hope that this kind of agroecological scenario generally covers most of the landlocked countries of the world. So my objective here in today's presentation will be to express and to share some of the pains, grievances, and frustration of the people, especially the small-scale fishers living in landlocked countries. Actually, the notion blue in blue growth, blue economy, blue revolution, and blue justice emphasizes economy generally generated through marine fisheries. And sometimes the people from the landlocked countries, especially the small-scale fishers, they feel that this is a kind of bias that has been imposed to blue injustice on the sustainability of small-scale fishers at the headwaters in landlocked countries. And I will show you some of the evidences reflecting through the per capita fish consumption, Human Development Index, and overarching climate change impact over the small-scale fishers of landlocked countries. And these landlocked countries, especially, they are quite small in size, except few. They are contributing very insignificant amount of greenhouse gas emission comparing to those huge nations, especially those all the countries with having the oceanic boundaries. Here in this pie diagram, the global contributors of greenhouse gases has been shown. The source of this data is from the Investopedia. This pie chart shows the highest contributor of the greenhouse gas emissions are the China, United States, India, Russian Federation, and so many other industrialist countries, more advanced countries who are emitting higher amount of greenhouse gas emission. As a result, there has been the impact of the climate change, temperature rise, high rainfall, and that causing, especially the climate, the high temperature rise is causing the snow melt and glacier burst, flood, kind of thing, and that has been disastrous to the small scale fishers living in the landlocked countries, especially in the mountain region. Here in this graph, I will show you how the temperature, especially the maximum and minimum temperature in mountains, hills, and plains in different agroecological zones of Nepal are rising up. Here in this vertical side, you can see the change in temperature, and on the horizontal, on the x-axis, the year from 1980 to 2018 has been given. You can see here in the minimum temperature in mountains is regularly, consistently kind of increasing, in the time course. Earlier, around 1980, the minimum temperature in the mountains were recorded something like -8, -10, -14, etc., etc. But recently, the minimum temperature in the mountains has been risen up, recording something like sometimes -2. So this kind of increasing temperature has again resulting in the pattern in climate change, devastating kind of giving the devastating results to the small scale fishers of the mountain area. Similarly, there are similar trends you can see in the hills and the plains, and similar trend also has been observed with the maximum temperature. The maximum temperature in the mountain area is also increasing up from comparing to 1980 to the 2008 to recent days. As another evidence, I will show, and I have analyzed the per capita consumption of the different countries. Here I got having a complete data set of the per capita fish consumption, almost 168 countries, and I have categorized these countries into three. One is landlocked, second one is island and small island developing states, and another one is the coastal countries. Here, if you see on the base of the per capita fish consumption, the ranking of the countries come first. The first rank is the coastal countries. They are having highest amount of per capita fish consumption. The second ranking is the island countries, and third and the least per capita fish consuming countries are definitely those who will be the landlocked countries. Again, based on the per capita fish consumption, I have divided the data into four categories. Those countries having less than 9 kilogram of per capita fish consumption, and second one is 10 to 19, 20 to 49, and 50 to 99. Among this category, 50 to 99 kilogram per capita fish consumption, there is no landlocked country so far, but the landlocked countries, majority of the landlocked countries that falls in the category having less than 9 kilogram of fish consumption per year. The rest of the data I will not explain because that is going to consume much time. I will move on another evidence. Here I tried to have established the relationship between per capita fish consumption and human development index. The human development index has been given onto the y-axis, while the x-axis shows the per capita fish consumption in different countries. Here, altogether, in all the 186 countries, the relationship in between the Human Development Index and per capita fish consumption is very much positive. Wherever you have higher amount of per capita consumption, they have higher development index ranging from 0.33 to 0.99. Similar trend you can also see here among the landlocked countries. Wherever there is higher amount of per capita fish consumption, they rejoices the higher human development index. Similar trend also in this category having very strong correlation, having with this category of the fish consumption, approximately the R2 values goes to 98%. That means the human development index is somehow, it is related with the per capita fish consumption. The higher human development index means good quality life, the standard kind of things, the facilities are very, very excellent. And there is also very secure human rights kind of thing in those countries having the human development index. Also very, the longevity of the life, good health, and good income kind of things can also be associated with the higher human development index. So at the end, it appears that the challenges of blue justice to the landlocked countries are difficult to achieve unless the concept, definition, and priority of the blue justice is more inclined and inclusive towards small-scale fishers of the landlocked countries. So we can connect the headwaters of the landlocked countries and oceanic markets for social, economic, and human rights justice to women and men fishers in landlocked countries impacted by the climate change. At the end, we would like to suggest that strong institutions are actually necessary for achieving challenges of blue justice to fisher folks in landlocked countries, as the Gentov and Chun Pakde, they have reflected in their so many, published paper. With these remarks, I would like to stop here and conclude my presentation. Thank you so much for giving your attention. Thank you. Thank you.